Yeah. Hello. Hello, hello. One should be able to hear me now. Let's get going. So, what do I want to mess with today? I think I know what deck I want to run in the tournaments coming up. I think there's a different deck for each platform that I want to do, one for iOS and one for Xbox. And I think I know what those will be, but there's just a few other things I think I need more experience with today. So one thing I want to do is this blue-red burn control. I'm not sure how to classify it. It was Izzet prowess. It was the deck you all know, Majoring Bully, Jesse and Thief, things of that nature, right? And so what happened is I found all those creatures to be horrible. I was having a really bad time with the deck, and the things I liked about it best were like Thing in the Ice, when that could flip, Stormchaser Mage, that guy was hard to kill and got in a lot of damage, and Fevered Visions, drawing a bunch of cards and killing the opponent slowly. So instead I made it more like this, and this is a bit more control-y, so you know, all kinds of burn spells, Fall of the Titans, a single Fiery Impulse, because I'm not sure how I feel about that card in here since it doesn't target players, Telling Time to trigger things like Surge, and put together your combos such as Lightning Axe and Avacyn's Judgment. Ravaging Blaze is, I think, underrated right now, but does a lot of work, especially with more Planeswalkers around, and Twin Bolts, and a single Jorian and a single Chandra. I'm not quite sure how I feel about those. Geistblast, because copying an exquisite Firecraft is pretty cool, and Fiery Tempers, Firebird, Chandra, and 24 lands. It's kind of a strange deck. There's a lot of cards that you really want early on curve but aren't very helpful later. Those include Jace, you want him turn 2, not really later. Thing in the Ice, same deal. And Chandra and Jorian and Fevered Visions you want to play on turn like 3 or 4 at the latest, and then never draw them the rest of the game because they're bad top decks. You want all your top decks to deal damage, so that's kind of where the deck is right now. Let's see. Can you explain why some cards were rotated out? I returned to the game and noticed some cards are gone. Does the game refund coins or grant different cards in exchange? You should have had some of your cards replaced by different cards. They should just have been completely replaced when you downloaded the update. And they were from the starter box, so they weren't anything that you paid for. So that basically means that they can switch them without worrying about any consequences in that regard. Alright, the deck list link hasn't changed for me. I reload the page in the new tab. Maybe it takes a while. Maybe. I thought I fixed it. I'll look again. And again and again and again. Let's see. Info and deck lists. It has to say deck box. Yeah, because I think he changed the links. And how that works. Is there like a save? I hit the submit thing. Yeah, yeah, it still says deck list. Weird. Let's try that again. Nope. And then it still says deck box when I go back in here. I hit submit. Alright. I guess it just takes a while. That's all I got. I got no other brilliant ideas on that one. Oh, Bunkered Snail, hello. Hi. How you doing? We got right into a game. First time for everything, and we got a 39 versus a 40. Not that rank means everything, but it's all we've really got to judge those early turns and whether or not we're in a dogfight or a seal clubbing match. Let's keep that. We could get, the deck does need like 3 to 5 lands to function correctly, so we are running a risk of missing a few land drops, but we got plenty of action. Hello, Siege Dragon. Man, people piling in today. People really looking for some Magic, I suppose. Some Magic Duels coverage. So, Evolving Wilds for Swamp. Could mean anything. Alright, now we're definitely going to want to draw some lands. Hopefully we don't get stuck here too long. We've got a lot of that we can do with 2 mana in this deck, but we don't want to be doing it for very long. I think you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So Stormchaser, get to work. Get to work, you Stormchaser Mage. Chasing storms. He's like those people on the Discovery Channel, right? That chase twisters. Yeah. Some good stuff. He's like in some armored tank, like trying to get really close to a tornado for some footage, but he's really just an adrenaline junkie. Let's use the prowess here. We'll go ahead and also shoot the ranger. You never know. You never know what it'll mean. Just get the extra damage. And here we go with the land shortage. So 2 straight draws, no land. Let's see if we can get that to end. Would be nice. This guy's going Abzan Super Friends, looks like. And that's a pain. I'm not a big fan of the Abzan Super Friends, but we can just try to burn him out if we draw land. Okay, that's a land. Not exactly the land I wanted, but we're going to keep on focusing on damage, because if we give this deck too much time, we will die. So we're just going to go for max damage every turn and hope it's enough. Especially with kind of the hand that we have, which is all burn and gas. I mean, am I still running Firebird? Look at my hand, homie. Look at my hand. Caught you in a silly question. Alright, yeah, I don't think I've changed this at all. I don't think I've changed it at all. But that should be an accurate list. Okay, he's going to get blue, so he's 4 or 5 color walkers probably. And what's the worst Planeswalker he could do? Probably killing Stormchaser Mage would be the big no thank you. There we go. So do I play into removal, or do I, again, just keep on the max damage plan? I think I go for damage. Yeah. Because while I have Stormchaser Mage, Firecraft does an extra damage. And when I lose Stormchaser Mage, it no longer does the extra damage. Now, he could have Grasp of Darkness right here, but either way, Firebird does 3 damage when I cast it, so we'll just go upstairs viciously. Violently. Just roasted is what I'm going for here. You haven't seen you haven't seen anybody play Evil Leap in a while? I've been getting back into the card a little, but really just for the crats, you know? I like it. I think it still has a home in the crats, but that's about all I can think of. So does he have Ob Nixilis? Again, probably be the worst. Yep, he's got Ob. He's got his Ob on. That is basically the worst he could have. But it's okay. So if we draw a land, Ravaging Blaze, and then Fiery Temper the next turn is almost a winning line. If we don't, it's probably Firebird. We're not worrying about Ob at all. Okay. Yeah, we'll go Firebird. Get in there. We're just going all to the face because I think that's probably the best line to take against these late game decks is we've got all this burn, they only have very limited life gain, and we just go to the face. Face is the place. This deck is basically a Hearthstone deck. Now if he has a Sorin, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Pretty much be the nuts. It would be the nut draw to drop Sorin right here and drain my bird. I guess that's an argument too to not play the bird at all. Is if he Sorin drains the bird, he gains life, whereas maybe I could have just burned him out by top decking a land. Hey, look at him go. There we go. Well, that's bad. That's bad. So yeah, there's a good argument there that I never should have even played the Firebird to give him that option. It's playing around one of in his deck, but it's one of that we can be really confident he has. So, yeah. A mistake. It's a mistake. I can't lie about it. It's definitely a mistake. But if we draw a land here, we get to pop him for 4 with the Fumarole. That's pretty big. I can't believe he attacked with that token. Alright, there's the land. So, 3/3. No, it's definitely Fumarole. He probably didn't see this line, or else there's no way he attacks with that token. Hey, it's okay. Just Planeswalker, right? I don't think any Planeswalkers gain you life. So he drew like the best, and we are just gonna have to beat the best. We're just gonna have to beat the best. And I think we're still in a fine position to do that, because he can tick up all he wants, but he's got to find a way to gain more life. And Siege Rhino is not in the game, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have followed Standard for the last, like, 2 years. So what can he do to gain life? Limvala would be a real heartbreaker. That she would. Nahiri off the top. Okie doke. You've got Nahiri. Keep in mind we missed some land drops in this game too. We could be in an even better position on a kind of a groovier draw, but it's all good. This feels like checkmate. He's got to have something. Nissa's Revelation would make me cry, and I would wonder what the heck he's doing with that in the deck. Is he going to attack with that token again? He better not. Okay, he didn't. Alright, I guess he could have some kind of counter magic. He's going to pause on my end step and flash in Avacyn, and we're going to go right to the head. Bam! Did it. So we beat Oath of Gideon into Ob Nixilis, into Sorin, into Avacyn with by just going over the top with Burn. And that's why I think this deck might be good. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to decide, but obviously you see the case right there. You know what I mean? That's my case for the deck. Not many people have a lot of solutions to Burn and Flyers. And let's try to find a round 2. And see how that goes. So, anybody following recent NGA stuff knows that somebody wrote an extended, I guess, comment, you'd say, about my blog article writing about the 4-color Walker's deck. And then the post got hijacked and some people got snippy with each other and it got shut down. But there was also discussion in there about just how bad I botched up my game with T-Shirt yesterday against Kozilek. And that is the absolute truth. I botched up a game really bad. And it goes to show you guys, if you're going to Twitch and you're going to try to... you're also going to put a target on your back, and you just kind of have to take it when it comes. And I certainly have no problem admitting that I screwed up. Well, that's going to be a mistake. Yeah, you better hang on to that one. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it feels pretty bad to have that be something that people are so happy to point out. So you kind of let it stick with you. But there was a good point made there that I didn't necessarily have the game wrapped up if Shirt had another Mortuary Mire, and I wish I had found out what was in his hand. I just feel like I was in a great position. I think he only had about 14 cards left in his deck, which put him on the deck plan, or about to get decked out far quicker than I was. I feel bad that that game kind of got taken away from both of us from seeing what the right conclusion should have been, even though I screwed up quite a bit. And I really don't know. The right play for anybody who watched yesterday's stream to the end was definitely that I need to tick down Ob, because he couldn't counter that with Kozilek. From there, I could have Declaration in Stone on the Advocate, and we could have just gone right back to kind of the game we were playing. It looks like our opponent wants to play some red aggro. Oh man, I think he might... Unless he has another Fiery Impulse, he probably should have waited till after combat, because it would have made this block really hard, since I knew he had the Impulse. And he may come to regret that if I flip over this thing in the ice and take all of his tokens for a ride. Alright, do I do this main phase? I guess I do, in case I get an Avacyn's Judgment, I'd want to cast it now. So, let's see what we get. Oh boy. Oh boy. I guess we will think. I don't really want to play Fevered Visions against a red deck since they're racing me down too, so I think I take the lands so that I can have Chandra on time. I think that's where we go. But, yeah, guys, if you ever want to hear people point out how wrong I am and can be, and proof that they can't wait to jump on me for it, that's a place to look. Okay, so we're taking the Goblin Beats. He had the Firecraft, and it took out the thing in the ice, and now he's got the Balloon Brigade. This deck is... We don't really have a lot of sweepers. We have a lot of face burn. Now, if we get to untap with Chandra here, everything's great, but in order to do that, we're going to have to not get blown up. So I'm going to hold up this Geistblast in case he plays an Aura or a Titan Strength. Okay, he drew both Firecrafts. Yippity skippity. Or he somehow unlocked rarity restrictions. Always a possibility. And is it a Titan Strength? We're going to try to wait it out. Okay, I'll just zap that now. Save the damage. Gotta save the damage. Going down to 7 when both of his Firecrafts are spent means I can take 2 Fiery Tempers without dying. And that is, that could matter. So, alright, Chandra in the house. Our one sweeper. Get those tokens off the battlefield. And he's stalling. His last card could be a land. It also could be another Fiery Impulse. Those would both make sense, or something like a Lightning Axe maybe. With that in mind, I don't think I slow rolled Jace because of that. But we're definitely going to plus Chandra and put some pressure on him and try to get him dead. Let's see, this will put him... Oh, it's a Twin Bolt. And he's going to bolt the... Wow. That's something. Interesting. Well, that'll open the door for Jace and company. We have 8 damage with Firecraft Geistblast. So he's at an effective 10. So we still have a ways to go on damage. So we may as well make these plays and build the board instead. But I like where we're sitting. He's flooded a bit. I'm sure he didn't plan on drawing 6 lands. Land off the top. Well, some kind of instant off the top, probably. Maybe another... No. What would it be? What would it be that would just skip his priority? If it's an Aura... Oh, he's conceding. Alrighty, we win. So yeah, 2 good matches in a row today. Though it looks like the red aggro got flooded, so maybe not the best game, but at least good matches in terms of opponents playing decks that can threaten us in different ways. Hey, I hit the gold cap, so it's not about the money anymore, guys. It's not about the money, money, money. We won't get the money, money, money. We're just gonna play it for the love of the game and the viewers at home. See how it goes. One thing I need to write about is just kind of how important concentration is in Magic. It's a very interesting topic to me, And a lot of people, I don't know if they ever really focus on Magic as much as they could to think everything through. I certainly don't when I'm streaming. I'm too busy talking, and I'm also too busy reading chat and commentary. I don't get as deep as I probably need to. I make a lot of good plays habitually, but I don't necessarily think out what I do as much as I should. When I play my local tournaments, they always have a TV on in the background, and it either has sports or reality TV. And I find it amazing how many people, like, instead of thinking about the game they're in, are like half watching those shows. You really can't do that and play great Magic. If playing great Magic is a goal of yours, the concentration is an absolute must. And I don't think many people even bother concentrating that hard anymore. I think we can do so much in the modern world without having to concentrate that we lose the habit of remembering to concentrate. And I certainly, on stream many times, I've been a victim of my lack of concentration, making plays that I know are poor. And then I make those same plays, not the same plays, but I make another poor play, within a pretty near time frame. And I'm always like, how do I keep on making these mistakes? I know better than that, but a lot of it is the concentration. If I have something on Twitch, or if I'm also watching some Hulu show, or I got anything on in the background, it can really just take you out of the moment quite a bit. My opponent is pausing the heck out of me, which makes me think more Fiery Impulse, or Twin Bolt. I guess we'll find out. Once again, we're going to be doing a little bit of a shuffle with our mana base. So here comes a Gear Crafter. So he's going to play Thopters against me. Alright. Avacyn's Judgment is a smooth answer, and probably what we want to do. Ignoring the Gear Crafter might mean losing the damage race in the long term. Unfortunately, this is my only removal spell. But we do what we must. There might be a better target next turn. We have a lot more stuff to cast. I think we just have to try to seize initiative, and that land needs to come. Siege Dragon says some people just play Magic for fun and don't make playing perfectly, and playing around one-ofs their top priority. You know what? That is absolutely right. And that's, casually, that's right. They may never concentrate as hard on making the right play, because, again, priority is a really big word. For whatever reason, that's not their priority. And for whatever reason, I like to say that making the right plays is my priority. It's all kind of it is all about priorities. And if you're playing Magic casually, it's probably not that important to you to know every single card and every single play that could be better. Alright, so speaking of plays that could be better, am I supposed to keep sneaking damage in? I mean, I have so much burn in my hand. I've got a lot of burn in my hand, but my opponent could very well play like Pia Kirin Whirler Rogue, and Stormchaser Mage could save me 3 damage, and it would only deal 1 damage on this attack. He's only got 3 cards in hand. I think I am actually a control here. Yeah, I think I have to sit back in case he's going to play Pia Kirin or Whirler Rogue. Okay, that's another good reason. That is another very good reason to sit back. Okay, so with that on the table... I can keep him from making a Thopter by burning his Thopter, but I don't know if that's really the play I want to be making here. Because now I don't win a long game. Like, there's nothing I can do to win a long game against Thopter Spy Network. I think I have to just storm the battlefield. Firebird, he can block Firebird all day, though, if he chooses to. But I guess I just have to go for the hit. This is probably the one time I can get in a hit with this Firebird. And I think I hold back the Mage and make him sacrifice the Thopter, make him attack with both if he wants to get in. I think that's the right play. If he has a removal spell, it will look bad. But, yeah, I think now is the Firebird time. And then from here, we're just gonna... Man, this one's gonna get interesting. I can already see that. This one's gonna be fun. So if he wants to throw away a Thopter, he can charge. If he has a Twin Bolt, I might lose my Mage. If he has Chief of the Foundry, he doesn't lose either Thopter. And he hits me for 5? He should attack with all. Okay. He does not. I think we have a good chance of winning the race now. I would love to draw one more land for the Ravaging Blaze. Although I don't have the Spell Mastery, so that may not be the best thing. Okay, well, it's one more land for next turn. So what kind of a hit would I take? I would take a hit for 7, and I would hit him for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 isn't quite dead, but it is if I draw a land. So I give him 1 turn, and if I draw a land, I win. If I don't, I take out the Engineer. Whew! This one is a real roast and toast, everybody. Alright. Go big or go home. Oh no, he's got Disperse, probably. Something I considered and just decided wasn't run very often anymore. Or maybe he's just pausing me because he likes to pause. I don't know. But let's find out. I guess he's pausing me because he likes to pause. Nope, telling time, that's what he has. Well, that's fine. That's a tempo negative play in a race, so that doesn't disappoint me. Down to 5. So, land off the top, Twin Bolt off the top, Avacyn's Judgment off the top is game. Him failing to block either of these is game. But how hard can he hit me? He's gonna Reclusive Artificer, that's a good play. Now, does he move all in? He's being selective. Okay, he's leaving one guy back. One little Thopter is manning the fort. So I think we do need a top deck here, or else we're gonna die. He's at frickin' 5. Oh wait, what happens if I Ravaging Blaze him for 3, 4, 5? Okay, well that does it too. I also had the line of Ravaging Blaze his Thopter token, and then hit him with the Stormchaser Mage, but the burn route is safer, by far. There we go. So we erased the Thopter's deck. And again, we missed some land drops. So not easy, and another good kind of notch in our favor, as that is the 3rd straight game I would consider a pretty good game here on Xbox. Pretty good matchup. Opponent who playing a pretty well-built deck, or at least appeared reasonably well-built. Gearcrafter, I don't know. Running it or not running it is a debate, but it was a good match. Making complex misplays is even more fun? I don't know. I know you've got sarcasm face yonder. I don't know about that. Oh, goodness gracious. I beat myself up quite a bit for my misplays. I try to let it go and learn from it, but like I was in a bad mood my whole car ride. I had to get out the door after that t-shirt game, and like I had to get in the car with my wife, and she's immediately like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "I screwed up. Everybody was watching, and I was playing too fast, and I screwed up." It's one of those things. When you take pride in something, which you should if you're going to put a lot of time and effort into it, and I put a lot of time and effort into Magic, about 20 years, when you take pride in something, it kind of hurts to let yourself down. And let your people down, as you folks out there are very much considered. I consider you my people because you take time out of your day to watch me play. So I owe you some good work. I don't owe you just some slacking, messing around ridiculousness. Oh yeah, okay, first turn Jotty, that's kind of a rough start for us. And we could Lightning Axe it. I don't know if I want to go that far. Oh, I just don't know if I can go that far. But I think I might have to. Because the life gain is such a big deal. It really is. And if I do I discard Firecraft because I don't have double red? Okay, this could be the mistake of the day. But at least we're going to take a really aggressive line and try to roll with it. So this is the play. Now I'm confident we'll find another red, but I want spells I can cast for the foreseeable future. And if he's playing ramp, there's no way we can let him run a Jotty wild, you know what I mean? We just can't have it. There's no way we'll beat him in a long game with Jotty Offshoot on the table and him ramping. We replace the axe. We don't have a creature. This is going to be the first game we play without Stormchaser Mage ready to rock and roll, and that will probably be an issue. He's going to miss a land drop. Fevered Visions will probably help him because of that, but at least we'll do some damage to him while we go. Alright, telling time. Let's try to find another red source. There we go. And do I want to Fiery Impulse that thing, or do I want to take Burn? I want to stay focused on killing him. That also will give me the Lightning Axe temper play, so kind of kills two birds with one big stone. He hits his land drop. Not too surprising since he's drawing 2 cards a turn thanks to Visions. But if he is a ramp deck, okay, some kind of Jund deck. And now he's got a 1/1, okay. We may as well kill his Advocate now. I doubt we'll kill him before he can get to 6 lands, and if he runs Explosive Vegetation, that could be next turn. So we'll get that off the board in case it would create a bad race for us, but we'll go face otherwise. We don't care about his 1/1. We just want to finish him as fast as we can with all the burn spells. And I think he'll have to discard, so that's added value when they have to discard cards. They're also probably not getting away from the Vision's damage much longer. Oh, there we go. So how's our clock? This is worth 2 damage a turn for the foreseeable future. So this is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next turn. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And if we top deck a land for Twin Bolt, that's 13. So we can kill him in 2 turns if we draw well. Alright, so we go upstairs for sure. This deck does spend so much time going face. It does feel like an old school burn deck, or like a modern burn deck for anybody who plays Paper Magic and plays Modern. You just end up roasting them out so often. Uh-oh, he's got life gain that we're going to have to race now. So that's good for him. The Fevered Visions basically plays that card to a stalemate unless he casts some ramp spells. So he's going to go down to 9. We can hit him for 6. And if we draw a mountain, specifically an untapped red source, we can Twin Bolt for the game. Alright, that's not it. So we'll do Twin Bolt Geistblast in the hopes of Geistblasting, copying Firecraft the following turn. Yeah, man, Fevered Visions is like the card I want to use in this deck. It's one of the main reasons that the deck is the way it is. If you have that on turn 3, if you have either one of the two, Stormchaser Mage on turn 2 or Fevered Visions on turn 3, the deck has a really good chance of winning. It absolutely just lights the opponents up. Now, what's going to be interesting here is to see if our opponent can do some kind of a ramp spell like Explosive Vegetation to gain more time. He has double Kazandu, okay. I don't know if that will do it. You need an Evolving Wilds right there. The fact that you can also use Fevered Visions to hit Planeswalkers is so amazing. Like, they might cast a Walker, but it just, like, drives it into the ground. So you have a problem with Fevered Visions because there's no counterplay? I mean, anybody can run stuff to destroy enchantments. That's not crazy. Anybody can play enchantment removal. I think most people just don't feel like it. Or they have cooler cards they want to put in their decks, I guess. But there you go. Another one bites the dust. And that one had plenty of life gain. I guess it was really good to kill the Jotty Offshoot. Yeah, I think we definitely did the right thing killing Jotty in that case. Well, that's why Visions is a pretty good card, whereas historically, like, you're saying Visions, they already, even if you destroy it, they already drew cards and already dealt damage. Yeah, that's why it's actually a good card. Most cards in this type of space, like Howling Mine and things like that, historically, they never get played, and they're not, they're fun, but they're not good. So Visions is like an attempt to make that thing fun. It's only 2 damage a turn. I think you're being a little bit dramatic, Tuck, but I guess, I don't know. I mean, I've been on the other side of a Visions. It hasn't killed me yet. I guess it also really punishes decks that work at a high curve. I know somebody played it against my Aristocrats deck, and I was like, okay. I flipped my Duskwatch Recruiter, and I put like 12 creatures on the battlefield, and I have no hand. Thanks for the cards. Alright, Tuck is explaining himself as a control player, and trust me, control players always find a few cards in the format to complain about, but Wizards is always going to make those cards because they don't want everybody to be a control player. They want playing control to be hard. They also want playing aggro to be hard. They want everything to have trade-offs, yeah. But yeah, there's supposed to be cards that are hard for you to deal with as a control player. Like, do you run Solemn Offering? I run Solemn Offering right now in my Esper deck. It's just something I feel I have to do. Well, Duels hasn't been around that long. And I guess you can cross that off your bucket list, Tuck. Now you've complained about a card. I don't know if it's Magic if we don't complain about cards sometimes. I mean, isn't that like what we do? That's what Magic community is for. I mean, yeah, sure, we brew some decks and do some fun stuff, but we also just have to get our complaint on every now and then. We have to tell our bad beat stories. We have to talk about our hatred for certain cards and our love for other cards. Nighthawk, don't bring up the bottle gnomes, man. Don't bring up the bottle gnomes. Right. So this is a much slower hand. We don't have the Visions or the Stormchaser Mage, so guess the game could get interesting. And here comes a Militia Captain. Let's dig with Telling Time. I really want to make sure we hit a land drop. I can always Fiery Impulse that thing later. So much for hitting a land drop. I guess we will take more Telling Time to make sure we get closer to one. And I guess I'm willing to also take a Captain bump. Or no, let's start the clock. Oh man, this is actually pretty tough. Let's start the clock. Tuck says, I hate complaining, which is what really tilts me. Yeah, I can tell you're tilted, dude. A little worked up. A little worked up on the visions. Using the C word. And I don't mean that C word, I mean cancer. And then we have the sarcasm tie-ins. Okay, here comes the Pilgrim. So we really want to put together Lightning Axe and Fiery Temper combo for these boys that he's playing. Pilgrim is a card that can be a problem for us. But I think we also... Oh, okay, we hit a land. That's good. And since it's the sure drop, we'll make it. Then we will Telling Time for Spell Mastery. And then we'll Fiery Impulse Eiley. Alright, so another Stormchaser Mage is good, and more red mana is good. Right? Red mana is a lot more effective than blue mana. But I guess I might want to do Telling Time, so maybe we take both? Red mana is more effective than blue mana. I'm going to stick to the mantra. Howdy, Gemini. Welcome to the chat. Alright, attack. Kill that thing. Would love to locate a Fiery Temper in the near future. He's going to see if Eiley can sack itself. It can't, so he's not going to. But that's why we kill Eiley first. Because if we targeted the other thing, he would sack it for life. And the whole thing with this is to get in damage that's hard to stop. Pulsa Marasa, that's a headache. Life gain in general is a headache for this deck, and not really what we want to compete with. But we can put out a lot of damage, so it's not the end of the world. As you can see, we've once again got double Firecraft to lean on. Alright, so Stormchaser again. And I'm not willing to Axe at this point. I really want to try to pair it up with a Temper, and since we have the third Telling Time, I think we have a good chance of doing that. Plus he might play Woodland Wanderer. Nope, it's Eiley again. No spot removal yet for the mages either, which I'm sure he wishes he had that going on. Alright, so with Telling Time, I really want a Fiery Temper, and I really want an untapped land. Oh, hello. Actually, that is just fine. I guess we'll wait on those things. Let's see, I go down to 10. I guess that's okay, too. I'd be... yeah, I can't think of anything to be directly worried about. And I hope he has, like, Grasp of Darkness, because I would blow that out with the Lightning Axe. And there's your favorite card, Tuck. Fevered Visions. Sorry to put salt on the wound. I just said it. It's just the first thing that came to mind. Tuck's favorite card. And let's see. Declaration in Stone. That's a big negative. Now, do I want the clues? I could Lightning Axe my own guy and save one of them. It's worth considering. Because I think I do need the airborne pressure. But no, I'll take the clues. It's just kind of a rough spot. And I'll go ahead now and Lightning Axe this thing. I can let go of this mountain pretty easily. We're going to be leaning on visions pretty heavily in this game to really pile up the damage on him. And we're also going to need to draw another removal spell. I'm not feeling ballsy enough to clock him with Fumarole. So do I want to go upstairs with Firecraft is the other question. And I think I do. I think I just need to start roasting face. This game could well come down to something like a Ravaging Blaze. And there's a big angel. Okay. That's something. I hope I don't have to Firecraft that thing. Pause, please. Pause! Pause, please. Thank you, game. Oh my gosh. Give me heart attacks. So, we don't want him getting back Eily, so we do have to kill that crazy angel if we can't end the game here. Hey, there's a card that'll do it. And I guess I don't need another Fumarole. Because if I take mana this way, I get to clock him with Fumarole right here, which could be a really good hit. So, red, discard Temper. That's not enough. If I discard the island, that doesn't do it. Man, I guess I can do it at instant speed. I could also power up Fumarole. Let's see, I can do him 7 right now. Oh my gosh, I can put him to 1. 1 and then he has to empty his hand. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm a red mana short though. How frustrating. This deck does run on the red mana, so I guess I hold the Firecraft. Maybe I activate a clue with the other mana? Yeah, I guess so. Stupid blue mana. Alright. You go down. Discard a card. Go to the face. Away with the angel. And now he's in a bind. He's got to dump his hand, or he's just toast. He's got to play out 3 cards this turn. Let's see if he can do it. He's running the Militia Captain, which makes me think it's not impossible. He must have some affordable creatures. There's one. Does he have more? Oh, he pays a life to make a 1/1. Ouchie wawa, dude. Alright. Well, he's tapped out. Let's just at least make a show of it, like we're digging for something. And that'll, once this turn gets passed, it'll be the over. And that'll be another victory. Another decent opponent. What is that? Abzan? Let's see, green, white, black. Yeah. So that was like an Abzan control, I guess. But I didn't have any spot removal at all. I don't know what to think. I guess I'll put it down as a mid-range deck. Gotta have some spot removal, guys. That's why I said so much in my blog, man. Gotta have that spot removal. Hey, Bounce, welcome. Bounce of NGA fame. Yeah, I know. It's a weird day, right? No junk decks, no garbage. Nothing I can really get nasty with. Yeah, Bounce, we're playing the Izzet deck if you already checked it out. No, this isn't the one with Molten Vortex. This isn't, there was Molten Vortex in this deck, and I eventually cut it, but this was Prowess, and then the creatures came out, and a lot more burn spells went in. And now, instead of Vortex, I'm playing Ravaging Blaze, which I found to be a really toasty finisher. So, the Vortex didn't last. I just always wanted to be playing my lands, because I always wanted to be doing more per turn. It kind of got into a spot where I felt like I was being torn in 2 directions, and I picked the way away from the Voltex. The Molten Vortex. But yeah, we've got 5 wins in a row, and all against pretty decent opponents. So we've kept a lot of 2-land hands so far today. like a lot of them, and we've gotten there every time. So I'm gonna keep on keeping 2-land hands, but eventually this is probably gonna bite me. All right, that's fine. I guess we'll play Stormchaser Mage, follow it with Thing in the Ice, follow it with Fevered Visions. It's not the curve out start I'm looking for. Molten Vortex is not quite the toasty finisher, but Ravaging Blaze certainly is a toasty finisher. And I found a lot of good targets for it. I just needed an X spell in here to go with and Fall of the Titans wasn't always the right one. So the Blaze got the nod. It often does just enough. Kill their last flying blocker and make attacks lethal. Pay us off for drawing all those cards and hitting land drops, although hitting land drops has not been the name of the game today. We've missed a lot of them, but we're still 5-0 on the day. And we beat 5-color Planeswalkers when they had turn 5 Ob, turn 6 Sorin, turn 7 Avacyn. And we beat red aggro that had like 1 billion goblin tokens in play on turn 3. We beat Thopters with a pretty good Thopter Spy Network draw. That Jund mid-range deck never really got to do its thing, and neither did the Abzan mid-range deck, but, you know, that's what we're doing. We're trying to beat up those mid-range decks before they do their things. Alright, swing in. Well, let's see, he's got the Grasp. Okie dokes. But what's he gonna grasp? See, the reason I played a Thing in the Ice pre-combat that time is I sort of wanted him to Grasp of Darkness the Thing in the Ice, because the Stormchaser Mage represents more damage over time. But, you know, he Grasp of Darkness the Stormchaser Mage, so he probably made the right play. Gemini says, test against me, tell me what to play. You can play Ramp against me. Hey, we're up against D-Man. He's a friend of mine, and I think he's a viewer. So we got another good opponent. No wonder he made the right play. He's a channel watcher. He gets all the sweet tech on the CGB channel. Yeah. All right. But yeah, we're up against a pretty. He's a pretty decent player. He's on my friends list. I try to stock that friends list with people I can call on for a good game. Alright, let's get Visions going. Looks like he's going to do some Mardu. Looks like he's going to play Gideon. Yowzas. Yowzas. We can Fevered Visions Fiery Temper of Gideon. Is that the play here? I don't have a ton of burn in my hand, so this game might go long. Alright, yeah, he's going to plus it. He doesn't... He knows that Gideon's loyalty is going to be under fire. Alright, so we will play thing number 2. No, there's probably a sweeper in my future, right? So I should pace my threats. Be a waste not to play anything, though. So I guess I make him have the sweeper and play a Jace and a Fiery Temper. Yeah, I think that'll be it. Down go Gideon. Jace to the battlefield. I want to back up Thing in the Ice in case he doesn't have a sweeper here. Or in case he does have a sweeper here, I should say. Here's the Blaze. Let's see if he gives us targets, because that is something I'm worried about. Maybe he's like a mostly creatureless Mardu. But Blaze hits like those creature lands like Shambling Vent, which is a big deal. You don't want the opponent's Shambling Vent getting in hits when you're playing a burn deck. So, that instant speed, yo. That's what that's about. D-Man's going to 5. Does he have Ob or something oppressive like that? And can we draw the land to go Chandra on him? I don't know. Planar Outburst. There's the sweeper. Can't blame you for blowing it there. You got a couple very rare, very awesome critters across from you. And quite frankly, those aren't the cards I really want to be playing in this matchup, is the creatures, but... You play what is dealt to you, and I wish I had this Fumarole on the battlefield last turn so I could crap him for 4. So I could crack him for 4. Somebody says that Geist Ramp is the reason you're rank 40 now. Yeah, man. I don't know if you're talking to me or Gemini. It's kind of his creation, but I'm glad you like it. All right, he's gonna pay some life and hit the visions. Like it. It is pretty funny that I also got a comment on my YouTube page about the Geist Ramp deck saying I went from rank 40 to 21 playing your deck, and it's horrible. So obviously results may vary when copying Magic decks. But yeah, a YouTube comment basically said, this deck is fun, but I went from rank 40 to rank 21 playing it. I lost so much. And I'm like, well, it's probably not the deck for you then. Oh well. Results may vary. If you get a lot of resyncs from Ruin in their wake, you can go kind of a different route and play Nissa's Pilgrimage and Evolution and Natural Connection as your ramp spells. It doesn't run quite as fast, but it does the job. I don't get many desyncs from the card. It's not a big deal for me, but I've heard a lot about them. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Soren in the house, ladies and gents. He's probably going to drain Chandra to death. So that's the second time we've been turn 6 Soren'd today. Hallelujah. Can't complain. Okay, Soren can probably stay on the battlefield now. He's not going to gain life. So what's the right sequencing here? We can knock him down to 7. This is 5, then that's 3. And Fevered Visions, of course. Now, does he have other ways to gain life? I don't know. So I'm actually not going to take that hit with Fumarole. I'm just going to play the other Visions, and maybe we'll kill Soren on his end step. And maybe we'll just Fiery Temper it. Or I could just hit him with the Fumarole now. These are probably good for burn whenever. So Fumarole hit comes now because he probably has removal to stop it in the future. Like, we don't want to run this into a Grasp of Darkness. We can do this because he's tapped out. But we'll see if we pull this off. But the general thing with Planeswalkers in this deck is ignore them if you can. Gideon is something we couldn't really ignore because Gideon will beat us to death too fast. But when you're at 20 life against Soren, it's going to take him a while to kill you. So here comes Soren. And his card is a Clifftop Retreat. Write it down. Clifftop. See if he casts it. He does. And he doesn't have a play here. Alright. So we can't expect Fumarole to get in again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the play now is another one of these. And a passing of the turn. He doesn't have anything to target right now with this Soren. He may be able to play and burn his own creature. Hello, Archangel. I mean, that's something. I don't have quite enough to blaze it, but it's really tempting to do that. We'll wait. We'll wait. All right. So Steve is talking about Geist Ramp, and he's talking about playing against Mill, and he says he won both times with 0 cards in his library on one occasion. See, that sounds like an exciting game. That sounds like a very exciting game. I like that. Alright, he's got a big turn. He's probably in a really bad place against this deck. This is a real pain for a control deck. Here comes Avi. Here comes the Avacyn. He got me. And here comes the Soren activation. Grasp of Darkness, you know it. You know he's got the grasp. So, guys, are you getting lagged out there? My preview thing is, it's kind of stalling. If you're getting lagged, hopefully it'll go away soon. But the preview I have open on my PC was like stalling. I don't know if that's my browser or your stream. Anyway, I hope it's not a problem. You just had to reboot the stream? Okay, so it froze up for a second. He is really thinking. I mean, okay, Ob. That's cool. Ob don't bother me. Ob plus. So he has 2 black open. We have to be careful. If we Ravaging Blaze as Avacyn, he can use Grasp of Darkness. And if he does that, he won't die. Okay, he's going to tick down and kill the thing. Okay. He's going to play another land. He's going to get hit for 2. I'm going to Fiery Temper him for more. But he's still got Grasp open, so we can't pull off the Ravaging Blaze trick, or can we? If we activate Fumarole and attack, we only need to do 2. So the play is to activate Wandering Fumarole. He will target the Fumarole with the Grasp of Darkness, and then, if I did my math right, we have enough mana left to Ravaging Blaze him. So that's the play. We're also not going to play the land. We're going to conceal the information in case he has this play in mind. And here we go. He'll probably throw the Grasp of Darkness at it, rather than trade his Avacyn. And here it comes. Little does he know that if he just traded the 2, he would at least live 1 more turn. But with no board presence, he'd likely die anyway. So there it is. Alright, got it. Somebody needs my Kratz deck list. Yo, to see all my deck lists, you can go to this link. Also, my Kratz deck list, I gotta tell you, Red Dog, is something I work on like every day, and I'm still not perfectly happy with it, so don't be surprised if it changes, and changes, and changes. So we'll call that a Mardu control. And that's another W, so 6 now here. And we'll get Gemini in here if Gemini's interested. Thank you for the compliment, Elements, or Element K. I don't know how you want to put that. I know Element is in there. Twitch in the names. Gemini says 1 moment. I'll count to. I'll give you a minute. I'll run and get a drink. Some questions here. Is Mill playable now? I mean, it's always playable. Is it good? Probably not, but sort of. I'll show you something in a minute. When you're going to make something with Alter Ego, when it becomes a good card. I don't think it's a very good card, but maybe it deserves to be in the banned list, you know? It's just not a card I gravitate towards. Ugh. Well, we've got our lands, but we're not going anywhere super fast with this, but I don't think I can really mulligan it. I've got the mana right, and I've got early removal and late game, so I think I have to try it. But we very much might lose. My Dragon Tribal list, what are you talking about? There's no Dragon Tribal list. You crazy. What are you even referring to? Man, the questions I get asked. Ha! Alright. So that's gonna eat the Twin Bolt. Oh man, that's more land than I want. Well, I guess not. I might need all this land. Bolt the bird, guys. If they play a mana producer, kill it. There was nothing wrong with that control versus control matchup. Somebody's like, you don't have to apologize to me for playing your game, dude. Control versus control is it's important, and a lot of people may find it boring. I know I played some games yesterday that people probably found boring, but you know, who cares? Alright, well, keep that mana suppressed. Pretty aggressively, too, especially using a Fall of the Titans. But, wow, he's got it going on. Alright, well, that's a problem. We didn't really keep a good hand against ramp, and Gemini is obviously trying something different, but this guy might even it up. Let's see what happens. Got a message. Hard to keep my concentration this way, but... That's weird. I told Gemini I wanted to play against ramp, and he played Kratz. The guy can never play what I suggest. He just can't do it. He's incapable of it. He's always got to do something else. Maybe he didn't hear me. Maybe I said that in my head. That would explain it too. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this bull crap. Oh well. We'll see what we can do. This game's gonna have to be all about the Flamecaller, and he's... What's he got? Power up. Sacks from beyond. I mean, he's just playing too fast is what's going on here. Yep, go get your Smothering Abomination. I get it. I know how this deck works. I'm the Kratz master. Now, let's see what you do about this. Hey, Mackie79! We got a YouTube star here in the chat, guys. Guys, if you want to learn more about Magic and you want more YouTube to watch, check out Mackie79. Xbox tournament competitor and generally awesome dude. Makes good videos. I love his work, so check him out. Mackie, if you want to put like a link to your YouTube or anything, or Nighthawk, if you want to help him out and do that, you're welcome to do that here, man. You're on my good side. Alright. Alright, Chandra's gonna light Gemini up a bit now. We had a very flooded game. If we draw another land, we might be Chandra zeroing just to get out of the flood. But we'll see what he has to do now that he drew 4 cards off the top. He traded his whole board for 4 cards. I think that's pretty fortunate for me since it kind of sets him back to square one. And, of course, Nighthawk233, who just posted that link like a champ, and my mod, because he's the man, also has a YouTube channel. And, of course, BounceOC616 has a YouTube channel. You guys are welcome to also promote your stuff anytime you want to. So we actually are a, like, YouTube star convention in here. We may not have a Hakeem928 or a Mobius chicken strips, but we do what we can. We do what we can. All right, he's passing the turn. That's kind of crazy to me. I don't think we can attack with Fumarole. There's no point to that. We can, of course, plus Chandra. And I think we'll keep the pressure on that way. A dragon tribal list out of Duels? Like, the dragons aren't any good. What's a good Duels dragon right now? If there is one, I'm missing it. Like, I don't know, you guys. I'm totally missing the boat if there's a good Duels tribal dragon synergy. Bingo! You're gonna come in handy, but we need something to target that isn't a Scion, and we can't have an Antuco Husk on the field. Arlen, hello. If Arlen makes a wolf, that'll do it. He's below Fevered Vision's range, so we don't get any free damage here. Yep, he makes a wolf. And he passes turn. So he's trying to turtle up against the mighty Chandra. Okay, so this is gonna be 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I guess that puts him to 1 and he has no board? Is there a better thing I can do? No, not really. Put him to 1. Do we play this land with Fevered Visions and Chandra Flamecaller on the battlefield? I'm gonna hold this land. Although he knows it's a land because of how long I thought about it. But, you know, a Chandra 0 might throw it away. Toss it away, in case he somehow finds a way to gain life this turn. Maybe he plays 2 creatures and a Kaladesh and a Chandra's Ignition, I don't know. He's got to play 1 more card from his hand or he dies to Fevered Visions. So does he Bone Splinter his own creature with no target? Is that what it's come to? Nope, he's got Liliana. Can't gain life. Oh, wait, he could get... Oh, man, if he had not... You guys, if he hadn't flipped the wolf... If he had not flipped Arlen, he could have given Liliana haste and then attacked with the lifelink. Oh, man. There's a line. There's kind of one of those weird lines you don't see every day. So he's ticking down. He's getting back a Carrier Thrall. He's kicking the turnover. He dodged the kill from the Fevered Visions. There's a Stormchaser Mage. I guess I'll go for the kill with Stormchaser Mage, and if that doesn't work, I'll 0 Chandra. Okay, he concedes. Alright, one game away. We'll challenge again. So yeah, guys, I like this blue-red burn deck. It is overperforming my expectations. Run it back. Sure thing, dude. Sure thing. Yeah, I was taking on Gemini. I wouldn't say I was beating him up. That game certainly could have swung either way. It looks like he had a pretty bad draw off his Smothering Abomination, draw 4. How do you guys concede so fast? We're really just snap, concede. This game's over. Get out of here. That's no wasted time, man. We got more duels to play. That's how we concede so fast. Focus. We played against a Walker's deck. It was the very first thing we played against today, and we were able to beat it, even though it had, it went turn 2 Ranger, turn 3 Oath of Gideon, I forget what turn 4 was. It might have been some kind of a removal spell. Turn 5 was Obnixilis to kill my Stormchaser Mage, or no, it was my Firebird. Turn 6 was Sorin to drain my Stormchaser, I think, and gain 3 life. So, and then turn 7 was Avacyn, and we still won that game. So yeah, we roast and toasted the 4-color walkers deck we ran into, and they had no slouch of a draw. I assure you. All right. Here we go. Running back with Kratz. This is not a great hand. Maybe I should have mulliganed it. Stormchaser Mage and Fever Visions are like just so important to find early, or the deck dirtles a lot. So, let's see. Duskwatch, that's gotta die. And I got just the card for the job. Oh, but there's our Stormchaser Mage. I guess I'll make him pass the turn if he wants to flip. He might have a Blister Pod, but I think we just need to get this on the table and get the clock started. Or he might have a Bone Splinters, I mean. We just gotta go for it. I didn't see any misplays by the player. We just toasted him too fast, and we even missed land drops that game, dude. We just burned him out. We just went faces the place. Fevered Visions, of course, doing much work. Okay, so now he's got that guy. Oh, we don't like that guy. That guy is a problem. He's a problem. So now we gotta watch ourselves. He also takes away the Ravaging Blaze power, which is a big problem. Whew, that's a card I really want to play, but I fear that if I do play it, I will not win this race. I could just get punked out next turn if I don't do something about his creatures. Oh, man. Getting Husk off the battlefield usually involves some kind of instant speed removal, typically in the form of like Lightning Axe. This is pretty tough. Alright, get that out of here. I think we're too far behind to go all the faces place stuff right now. Okay, why is he sacking his Blister Pod? I think he just made a mistake. Or, oh, he's playing around me having a Fiery Impulse, but that doesn't work, so that must be a mistake. It must be a mistake. Come on, Gemini. Alright. Oh, I know I have a problem with the Husk, Mackie. Husk is the kind of card you don't want to play against very much with this deck. Husk is nasty. I need my Lightning Axe. I got 3 of them. I got all the full 3 copies I can have. I'll need to have one soon. Whew. And he's got more dudes. Okie dokie. So, let's see. Fall of the Titans, if I draw a land, will get rid of both of those, and that would be great. Because if you can't kill Husk, you gotta kill the rest of his board, is how it works. What am I gonna draw? Okay, I drew the land, so let's just do that for 2, and we'll go bam, bam. I mean, I'm tapping out, so it doesn't matter. Get that out of there. Get in. So our goal, since we can't deal with Husk, is to keep his board down. And if we keep his board down, maybe we'll get a chance to pot shot the Husk at some point. Because if he doesn't have a bunch of creatures around it, that's pretty good for us. Oh, jeez, oh, Pete's. Nissa! What are you doing, Nissa? No! Dang it, Nissa! Alright, Nissa. Here comes Husky. Is he gonna pitch? Oh, don't pitch. Oh, man. I don't think Gemini plays this deck enough. Alright. Now I can kill his Husk and check his Nissa. Now, one thing I can't do here is I can't Ravaging Blaze his Husk, hoping to also hit Nissa, because he can sacrifice Husk to itself. So the play this turn is going to be Fevered Visions and Fiery Temper. And I don't think I attack Nissa. I think I just do damage to him. But this deck has a lot of red removal, so he has to keep a lot of creatures on the board to keep his Nantuko Husk powerful. Yeah, man, I think Gemini is too aggressive to play Kratz. It's a very it's a different deck from the average. I think a lot of people have trouble with Kratz. It's just not their type of deck. It's like me with Simic Tempo. Just doesn't work for me, but it works for others. So, yeah, I don't know if Kratz is quite to the guy's strengths. That was you're right, Nighthawk. That was some really greedy play. But here's the thing, though. If you have an opportunity, if you're not that good with a deck like Kratz, but you want to be better, the only way to get better is to play it, and not to play it against randoms, to play it against good players, and try to learn. So you got to give credit to the folks working on their decks and working on their skills. Gemini certainly works on his skills. This is not really a prowess deck. The only card in the whole deck that does prowess is Stormchaser Mage. It's the only prowess that there is in the whole thing. But it is a deck. Okay, so I can blow up both the critters, and I can hit with Fumarole. I think that's the right thing to do. Just ignoring the Planeswalkers is what we usually do. Yeah, dude, this only has the only prowess creatures in here are Stormchaser Mage. It's much more burn. It's much better for it. Cards like Thief and cards like Wandering Bully and whatever that other 2/1 thing is, the Prowler and Abbot of Carol Keep, you know, in a vacuum, they're just not good cards. I mean, that's true. Uh-oh, he's got another Husk. That's a problem. So now we have to decide how to go about that. He's going to go down to 2 here. Just need some burn. Just need some burn. This deck has been fairly awesome today. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. If he blocks... Okay, so what can I do here? If I Ravaging Blaze, he sacks the Husk, and I can't quite get there. So we will play Chandra, and we'll try to top deck a burn spell. Again, if I try to cast Ravaging Blaze, he'll just sack Husk to itself, so it won't be lethal. So we need to catch him with a creature with his Husk guard down in some way. Evolutionary Leap. That pretty much takes Ravaging Blaze off the table. As long as he has a green mana open and a Husk in play. So I'm going to go for... If I do this now, he doesn't get any value out of it, so we'll go with that. We'll just go for this right now. He has to sack Husk. So he can't evolutionary leap it if that somehow became a thing. But there's not much he can do with leap in this situation. He's just trying to get underneath the Fevered Visions because he dies to it. So he needs to play one more card from his hand to get under the Visions. And he's got the Bone Splinters, so he's under the Visions. We need a spell. Just about any spell will do. That's a spell. And can I pay for it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can. Oh no! I did it before it resolved! Darg! So I itchy trigger fingered that. Oh, that's embarrassing. That one wasn't really a mistake. That was just an accident. That was just me slipping on my controller, is what that was. I guess it's a misplay, but literally it wasn't what I was even trying to do. It was me like leaning over in my chair and hitting the button twice instead of the one time. And now he gains a bunch of life and he draws a bunch of cards. Oh, God. Well, if we lose this game, I'm not holding it against my deck, that's for sure. My deck did what it had to do. Oh, man. Could I have canceled? I guess I could have canceled. Oh well. I just kind of resigned myself to it. No, I don't think you can cancel there. It's discard a card or not. Oh, maybe you could. I don't know. I'd have to see it again. Oh, man. So for purposes of deck record keeping, it goes down as a loss, but I make misplay notes if I actually do lose. We still might not lose. All I have to do, top deck Ravaging Blaze right here. Oh, man. That goes down as a classic, though. Oh, look at that. Look at that land off the top. Winning. Winning. All right. Oh, beautiful. All right. We want to do it now. Yeah, we do. So that he can't get the Evil Leap value. Oh yeah, there's a Geistblast down there. We just need some kind of a burn spell here. Me and Magic. And the slips. I got the slips lately, that's for sure. Oopsie. And I was giving that Gemini crap for making mistakes, and then I go and do that. Just goes to show you. Isn't the Scion more valuable than the Visionary? Probably. I'll just say probably. Here's Arlen. Hello, Lady Arlen. And he's gonna plus the Husk. Now he can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He can go in for lethal here. So let's power up. We're pretty close to dead. Let's do Thing in the Ice over here, because I'm not worried about flipping Thing in the Ice, because if we draw spells, we just win. So we'll block like this. Two more for you. And the top of the deck is Avacyn's Judgment. I don't have a way to discard it. I have to not die, so I guess what I can... Oh, I have Geistblast. What am I thinking? I am becoming rusty. I read too much Twitch chat. Yeah. Okay. Still pulled it out, despite being a disgrace to Magic itself with that lightning axe. I had it, I blew it, and then I still won. That's what happens to me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Gemini, I blew it very bad. I misplayed like a horrible sucker. I hit the lightning axe button before the frickin' 1-3 resolved. Before Stormchaser Mage resolved, or I would have killed you like 4 turns ago. Bad CGB. No excuse for you. Seems like a daily thing now, as I have to have a game-throwing misplay. Alright. So are we running it back, dude? You want more? Or should I go get me some randos? What should I do? Yeah, I'm also curious how the game would have gone if Gemini hadn't sacrificed incredibly aggressively. That would have been probably a much more difficult game. What do I think the bad matchups are for the burn deck? Black-white life gain. Hello. Switch. I mean, that's a word. You want me to switch decks or you're switching decks? See, I could have, Element, if I Ravage the Husk, he sacrifices Husk to itself, and the damage doesn't hit him. I was 1 mana short that turn. I know the turn you're talking about. I was a mana short of activating the Fumarole. I was a mana short of hitting him with Fumarole and making that play. Gemini, why don't you try Esper or Ramp? Why don't you bring me some... oh, there's the invite. Never mind. Play whatever you want. You need 5 mana. You need 5 mana to use the Fumarole, including the Fumarole itself. So I needed 4 mana to use Ravaging Blaze on Husk for 2, and I needed 4 more mana to activate the Fumarole, and I needed the Fumarole itself untapped. I made that exact same play like the game before, so trust me, I saw it. But you know what? I mess up enough, so you shouldn't trust me. Okay. Hand is slow. Could be bad. Gonna try it. Cross the fingers. I hate these draws with Sulfur Falls and Highland Lake, where these both lands enter the battlefield tapped, because if they gave us, like, battle lands, it wouldn't be a problem. He's gonna play vampires. Means we're probably the control in this situation. We'll see how this goes. Boom, tapped land. Not a good time for him. Definitely want to be getting on the board. Call the full moon. So, it's already out of range. Yippee. I wonder if the play next turn, if we draw land, is probably Fall the Titans for 0. Twin Bolt. No land. No land. Nothing like some mana screw to end a good streak, but we've been getting lucky on 2-landers all day, so I can't complain. Nothing to complain about. By the way, I do run 24 lands, yet it seems that getting the land mix right is always a horrible process that rarely works out. I wonder if he'll get Abbott to work through the bug. No, he will not. Would really love a land. Really love a land. Cross your fingers for a land. I mean, now I can 2-spell him? I guess I can. I can discard and cast Avacyn's Judgment. So that works. See, I can cast Avacyn's Judgment here for 0, and that will be the second spell. And so it will boost my Stormchaser Mage, and it will make his Call of the Full Moon fall off. So that's why we made the play this way. And then he'll just be back to a 1/1 menace. Man, if that second land weren't a tapped land too, right? We'd have 2 Stormchaser Mages. We'd have a much better clock running. That's for sure. But it is what it is. Okay, second Neonite probably means get our Twin Bolts on. Go down to 11. We can guess he'll have at least 1 Fiery Temper, maybe 2. Land for turn, pass turn. Let's try attacking and see if he has a response. Still on 2 lands. Still trying to make it work. So he'll probably sacrifice and Fiery Temper. Yep, there it is. Double Fiery Temper, why not? Now, does he want to go after me, or does he want to go after the mage? He goes to me. Wow. I wonder if his last card is Firecraft. Or if he's just that aggro of a dude. It's like, burn, that's supposed to be my thing. Alright, so he probably has at least one, okay. I was gonna say he probably has at least one, Exquisite Firecraft, but I haven't seen it. And, wow, okay, interesting. So, jeez oh Pete's, man! Can a guy draw land? I mean, there's a world where I hit a mountain and a lightning axe or a fiery impulse, and that's a beautiful world I'd love to live in, but I don't think I can gamble on that. So I guess we go D. It's really lame. D up. What's it gonna be, Gemini? Don't slow roll me, bro. If you got a burn spell, I think you got it. We double up the blocks in case of a Titan strength. We definitely want to make sure his creature dies too. Oh, dude, what are you doing? Of course you win. Yippee skippy. So we get mana screwed and he wins, and the streak is over. So, but you gotta put it in perspective. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins without getting mana screwed. And then we got mana screwed against red aggro, which is always like the end of the line. You get mana screwed against them, you just lose. It happens. Ugh. And also, like, they had to be 2 tap lands. I really would have loved to see how that game plays out if I got to play my Stormchaser Mage on turn 2. But, that's the blue-red burn deck. I do think it's good. I'm not sure how good. It's definitely decent. And, oh, Gemini wants to play again. Maybe he wants a rematch. I guess I'll take a rematch. Although I don't know if I can accept it, trying to go into my deck editor. We may just get stuck here. Okay. Considering that we kept like 2 land hands on probably 5 occasions, and that's the first time we failed to find land number 3, it's alright. You're always begging for, it's good that we won 4 out of 5 dealing with that situation. But yeah, if you guys out there like running the blue-red prowess deck, you should probably switch it to this deck. It's just so much more consistent. And generally so much better. It can play 2 games, whereas prowess is like a one-trick pony. And they kill your creatures, and now you're sad, and you have all these slip-through spaces and nothing to cast them on. I guess we'll try this. It's going to be the first time trying Jorian. The hand is pretty bad against red, but I'm not trying to pretend I know what he's playing and mulligan towards it. He's going to start on a tap land, which is how those decks usually do start, because they're 2-color. Land, please. I'm hitting the button. Thank you. Duels lag. Duelin' laggin'. And here comes a Bloodseeker, yippity-skippity. Let's see if we can get that off the frickin' table this time. No red source and a bunch of double red cards, so we're probably going to get ourselves in real trouble once again. Ugh, I guess we'll play the Visions and try to draw through this, but without double red, which we run, I believe it's like 8 mountains or 9 mountains. We really lopside our red sources, but still, sometimes you just get screwed. Hey, that's a red source, but guess what? Tapped. Yep, here comes this shenaniganry. Here we go again. Now he can double activate that here and hit me for 9, which is a big negative. Oh, he doesn't. That's weird. I would definitely hit me for 9. I mean, I don't care what's in your hand. I would discard it. I don't care what you have. Alright. Well, I guess this is the play. I'm going to wait on end step before discarding the Lightning Axe, just because I want to see my card from Visions. And then, okay, it's Geistblast. I guess I don't want to... Do I want to discard that? It would let me double up burn spells in the very near future. Huh. No, I want to discard a Ravaging Blaze. Or no, if I do discard this, I can copy the next burn spell I draw. And blue mana is hard to use in this deck. Like, the red mana is very taxed. So I think I do want to do that. Telling Time is the absolute best card if you like being really sad when it whiffs. That is the truth. Alright, we've got the Spell Mastery, so we can put him off balance with the Ravaging Blazes. And this time Gemini's getting mana screwed. So, there you go. The karma comes for you, eventually. Anticipate is 10 times better, and I wish we had it, just because you get to see more cards and find the best one. So I think the right play is just to keep his board creature clear and keep his madness outlets dead. So we're going to do it on our turn so that he can't do anything like discard an Avacyn's Judgment, a Fiery Temper, or whatever. Another Axe, thank God. Gotta love the Axe. He's got another Bloodseeker. Does he have another land yet? He is just, wow, he is drawing a lot of cards and not finding land. I wonder if he has like Fiery Tempers he could be discarding on end step to use the madness. Wow, he plays Titan Strength in there. Okay. So, what's the play right now? I mean, if I Chandra and I minus, that goes away and he has to deal with Chandra. That's pretty good. If I Chandra and I plus, he takes 6 if he wants to keep his guy. And that means he likely dies next turn. I'm still at 16. How much damage could he deal to me? Yeah, we're gonna be super aggressive. We're gonna be super aggressive. Because if he takes this damage, I don't think there's any way he can kill me next turn, and I think I just win if I untap. Yeah, he took it. He took it. Alright, Gemini, do your worst. Maybe it's something like Titan Strength, Titan Strength. Maybe it's Fiery Temper, Titan Strength. I guess that would be a lot of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. He discards the lose 3, gain 3 Alms of the Vein. Card I do not see very often. Now, one thing with Ravaging Blaze here, if we want to use that, is he can discard 2 cards and kill his own guy. Is he not attacking? He's not attacking, okay. And he can sacrifice Neonite in response. So let's just shoot here, discard a card, and you can go. You can go, you can go. And then Chandra plus his game. And there we go. So Vengeance, I mean, he got mana screwed and never got off 2 lands, and the game before we got mana screwed and never got off 2 lands, so I guess we need the rubber match. I think that adding 2 counterspells to this list would be a mistake. I mean, you can try it. Maybe it's not a mistake to you. But, I don't know. I've already got a lot of bad top decks, and what the deck wants to do typically is it just hits the opponent as fast as it can, and then the opponent kind of stabilizes and takes care of the couple cards that matter, like Stormchaser Mage, Chandra, and Fevered Visions. And then what happens is you just need to draw burn. You just need to draw burn until they die before something happens to you. And top decking a counterspell in those situations is the worst. Top decking a counterspell in those situations is not a burn spell, and therefore it does not win you the game. So, yeah, it's not like stopping things from resolve is my plan for most of the game. Usually they resolve some pretty good stuff, and when they do, we're usually under a lot of pressure most of the game. Like, most of the game I'm being attacked. It's just, am I attacking and burning them faster? Like, I think there was a game I played earlier where it was like turn 2 Militia Captain, Henwar Militia Captain, and I spent like the whole game getting attacked by the Militia Captain. I just killed him before the Captain killed me. It's kind of the way you gotta roll. Alrighty. Let's see if he's got some removal for Jace here. The deck already has some bad top decks. Like, Fevered Visions in a board stall isn't that great of a top deck. You know what I mean? Look at him go. Another card that's not a very good top deck is the first Chandra. Another card that's not a very good top deck is Jace. Another one is Thing in the Ice. And these are all cards that are so good on turn, like, 2 and 3 that it's worth having them, you know? It's worth having them in there, but... That can all go downhill if you put too many cards like that in the deck. And that's why I'm not willing to take those cards out, because they have huge impact turn 2, whereas a counterspell wouldn't. And they're bad top deck slate, which is the big problem that the deck has when it just can't top deck well. And yeah, anyway, beat that into the ground. But yeah, this deck all the time, I mean, yeah, you have your point. Militia Captain wouldn't kill you by itself, but that's the thing about Militia Captain, it's never alone. But yeah, we just want to... We ignore Planeswalkers, we ignore creatures, we just want to go to the face as much as possible. So he's got 2 guys. I feel like I need to start a clock, but I also feel like I need to Twin Bolt. If he has a Titan Strength, I get blown out. So I think I just cast this main phase. We are the control, after all. We'll just go for this. He doesn't sacrifice, so he must like his hand. Yeah, Big Jace is another card that's not a good top deck for this deck. Big Jace is another one that doesn't pass the late game test. Hey, we're going to get some Fevered Visions damage. I didn't think that would happen the way the game started. And Firebird now is on the case. And looks like Gemini may get mana screwed yet again. We've got more than enough lands. I'd prefer to stop drawing them. Well, he found a land. He did find one. But he doesn't have a play to follow up. That's kind of a big deal. Judgment, Geistblast. So everything but Judgment here is instant speed. I can't see a world where... I don't see a world where Judgment's the right play. I'm going to attack and see if he kills this. If he does, maybe I'll bring it back this turn with Landfall instead of next turn. But no, he didn't. So we'll just hit our land drop and see what he does now. I think he knows he's in pretty bad shape. Alms of the Vein. Yep. Okay. Land for turn. Okay. No creature. Let's Geistblast your head. And let's do our damage with the Firebird. I mean, Bird in this deck is perfect. It's, you know, another like thing that usually does damage, so it fits right in. And the flying means it might hit multiple times. That's really, I mean, what can you say? It's awesome. Bird is the man. All right, got it. We're gonna Geistblast back the Exquisite Firecraft. No need. So Gemini misses some big mana drops yet again and goes down. Mana screwed again. Ouchie wawa. Alrighty. So let's go visit the deck a little bit. Have a look at it. Visions is great for tilting opponents if they draw the land they need on their end step trigger. Amen. Amen, Nighthawk. Amen. So, let's see. Are there any changes to make based on today's smashings and bashings? We went 10-1. The one loss was a stuck on two landy type affair. In general, I think it's pretty solid. I mean, Jory never did work. Just never really got going, but sometimes you need it to. Ravaging Blaze was, maybe it could have been a different card, but it did work, you know. It got busy. Telling time, one thing I hate doing is telling time into other telling times. Feels like I'm dirtling. So maybe one of those could go. Fall of Titans is good when you have mana. Well, kind of amazing when you have mana, kind of bad when you don't. Lightning Axe is fantastic. Fiery Impulse was great when we had it. The cards I think I want more of, I wouldn't be sad about getting the 4th Twin Bolt in here and another Fiery Impulse. What I would cut for them, I don't know, maybe Jorian and a Telling Time. I think those are the tweaks I kind of want to make right offhand. One of the problems with Jorian is you don't really want to play it on turn 3, and by turn 4 or so, you're usually under so much pressure you don't want to cast him. And we don't have a lot of creatures, so the creatures we do have are just begging to get removed anyway. So I'm going to try those changes going forward, and I'm sure I'll update them on my deck box if I like them and they're working out. So these are the changes for right now. +1 Impulse, +1 Twin Bolt, -1 Telling Time, -1 Jorian, and otherwise I think the deck is pretty good. It seemed very good. It just seemed like a really vicious concoction of burn and destruction, and really tough to deal with if your opponent's game plan is like on the ground, clog up the ground with planeswalkers or creatures, but generally tough to deal with. We beat, what did we beat? We beat red aggro decks, we beat Thopters, we beat ramp, we beat mid-range decks, we beat 5-color planeswalkers. So kind of a variety pack of what we defeated. So yeah, I'm digging the deck. I hope you guys try it and dig it too. And I'm going to pause for just a second for a quick break. And if you're on YouTube, stay tuned. There will be more videos.